Since 1987, when the term was coined by the US Army War College, we've been asked to view the world as VUCA: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. But this changed in 2020 when futurist Jaime Cascio published his article, Facing the Age of Chaos. In this article, Jaime argued that the VUCA lens was no longer sufficient to describe the world's chaotic conditions and proposed an alternate BANI lens. Whereas volatility underscores the rate and intensity of change, brittleness stresses how easily systems can break under stress. Beyond the example of supply chain disruptions during COVID, we can think about the energy crunch in Europe following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, or the impact to global commerce of the Suez Canal blockage in 2021. From a leadership perspective, this leads to actions needing to revolve around bolstering resilience and designing contingencies, as much as, or even more so, than needing to focus on being nimble and responding quickly. Where uncertainty calls attention to a lack of predictability, anxiety goes a step further, highlighting individuals' emotional responses to this uncertainty. And this might sound fairly benign and simply a well-being issue, but this anxiety goes much deeper and further. It affects consumer willingness for discretionary spending, and it impacts the willingness of executives and investors to back innovative projects. This stifles creativity and long-term growth and puts strain on public health services. Looking at the world from this perspective, as well as embracing ambiguity themselves, leaders must be compassionate, addressing the mental well-being and assuring psychological safety for their employees, their customers, and their stakeholders. Where complexity reflects many moving parts and intricate interdependencies, nonlinearity conveys that small, seemingly minor actions can cause disproportionate, rapid changes. Think about the rapid adoption of Zoom and other video conferencing tools during COVID and the impact that that's had on working practices, or the rapid rise of generative AI and how enterprises have had to scramble to adopt it in the face of competition from AI-powered startups. The application of systems thinking and holistic strategies is no longer enough from this perspective. Leaders are also required to prepare for sudden upheaval with an emphasis on innovation. And where ambiguity means an unclear reality that can often be clarified with additional analysis or data, incomprehensibility reflects a sense that events are so perplexing that no amount of data yields clarity. Consider the example of a smartphone manufacturer sourcing components from dozens of suppliers, where each of those suppliers relies on separate sub-tiers of suppliers. Disruptions, like factory shutdown in a single region, can cascade through the chain in ways that are far too intricate to capture and track in real time. So what we have there is nonlinear brittleness hiding in a complex system, and this makes any form of predictive supply chain management challenging at best and impossible at worst. Under these and similar conditions where direct understanding is impossible, continuous learning is no longer sufficient. Leaders have got to embrace humility, lean on collective intelligence, and foster robust networks for sense-making. Frankly, it's a wonder that anybody wants to be a leader, and it's no wonder that leaders are burning out at such rates. To summarize then, in order to develop sustainable organizations, leaders have got to evolve to nurture resilience in themselves, their employees, and their organizations, and their stakeholder groups more broadly. They've got to foster innovation for adaptability in the face of sudden changes. And they have to develop to thrive in the face of complex, nonlinear challenges that often defy direct understanding. Is that a challenge that you recognize? And if so, what are you doing to address it?